AIBE Family Law Multiple Choice Questions. Coming to question number 1. Adoption under Hindu law. Which statement is true regarding adoption under the Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act 1956? So here 4 options were given. Option B is the true answer. Section 10(4) of Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act 1956 specifies that the person to be adopted must not have completed the age of 15 years unless there is a custom or usage applicable to the parties which permits persons who have completed the age of 15 years to be taken in adoption. So option B is the right answer. The persons to be adopted should not complete 15 years of age. Option A is false because Section 7 of Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act requires a married Hindu male to obtain the consent of his wife for adoption. Option C is false. Muslim law does not formally recognize adoption. It practices the concept of kafala. Option D is false. Adoption laws in India are primarily for minors, that is children. A major cannot be adopted legally. Question number 2. Divorce in Muslim law. What is the term for a contract of marriage which may be dissolved by the wife under a power delegated to her under the Muslim law? So, here the question is regarding the right of the wife to dissolve her marriage. Here 4 options were given. Talaq az sunnat, talaq ul biddat, talaq e taweej, talaq e hasan. Answer is C. Talaq e taweej. Talaq e taweej is a form of delegated divorce. The husband delegates his right to pronounce talaq to the wife or a third party, either permanently or for a specific period. Talaqul biddat, that is triple talaq, is now void. Talaq-e-Hasan are forms of divorce pronounced by the husband. So here the husband pronounced the talaq 3 times during different periods. Talaq is sunnati, the term for forms of divorce approved by the Prophet. Question number 3. Co-partnership rights. Through which amendment act were the rights in the co-partnership property made available to a daughter of a co-partner by birth, giving her the same rights as a son in Metakshara co-partnership property? Answer is C. That is Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005. The Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005 inserted a new provision into Section 6 of the Hindu Succession Act 1956, making a daughter a co-partner in her own right in the same manner as a son. This landmark amendment granted daughters equal rights and liabilities as sons concerning the co-partnership property. Question number 4. Maintenance of divorced Muslim women. The landmark Supreme Court case of Muhammad Ahmad Khan versus Shabano Begum, it was related to option A. Dowry demand, B. Harassment at the workplace, C. Maintenance of divorced Muslim women, D. Validity of instant triple talaq. Answer is C. The explanation is the Shabano case dealt with the right of a divorced Muslim woman to claim maintenance under Section 125 of the Criminal Procedure Code 1973, which is a secular law. After the expiry of the iddat period. This case led to the subsequent enactment of the Muslim Protection of Rights on Divorce Act 1986. Question number 5. Void and voidable marriages. Under the Hindu Marriage Act 1955, a child born of a void or voidable marriage is considered as. So, four options were given: illegitimate, illegal, legitimate for the purpose of succession to the property of his or her parents, none of these. Answer is C. Section 16 of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955 explicitly provides for the legitimacy of children of void and voidable marriages, notwithstanding the degree of nullity. Any child begotten or conceived before the decree is deemed to be a legitimate child for the purpose of succession to the property of his or her parents, and not of any other relation. Hindu Marriage Act 1955. Which of the following conditions, if violated, makes a Hindu marriage void under Section 11 of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955? The parties are under the minimum marriageable age. The marriage is not solemnized with proper ceremonies. One party has a spouse living at the time of marriage. The petitioner's consent was obtained by force or fraud. Answer is C. Explanation is violation of conditions, bigamy, prohibited relationship, and Sapinda relationship of Section 5 of Hindu Marriage Act makes the marriage void ab initio under Section 11. So, there are three options under Section 11, through which Hindu Marriage Act makes the marriage void ab initio. That is bigamy, prohibited relationship, and Sapinda relationship. Violation of minimum age is a penal offence but does not render the marriage void or voidable. The provision for restitution of conjugal rights is contained in which section of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955? Option is answer C, that is Section 9. Section 9 provides the remedy of restitution of conjugal rights, where one spouse withdraws from the society of the other without reasonable excuse. Next question. Under Section 13B of the Hindu Marriage Act, the minimum period of separation required before the presentation of the first motion for divorce by mutual consent is, answer is B, 1 year. So explanation is Section 13B 1 requires that the parties have been living separately for a period of 1 year or more immediately before the presentation of the petition. Next question. A marriage can be annulled as voidable under Hindu Marriage Act 1955 if the respondent was pregnant at the time of marriage by a person other than the petitioner. Answer is B, 1 year from the date of marriage. Section 12 1D read with Section 2B1 allows annulment on the ground of pre-marriage pregnancy provided the petition is presented within 1 year from the date of the marriage and the petitioner was ignorant of the fact. Which section of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955 provides for the legitimacy of children born of void and voidable marriages? Answer is B, 16. Explanation. Section 16 states that notwithstanding a decree of nullity, a child begotten or conceived before the decree is deemed legitimate for succession to the property of parents. So if any children born out of marriage also becomes legitimate only for succession to the property of parents. Next question. The term Sapinda relationship under Hindu Marriage Act 1955 extend to the lineal ascent of the bride up to. Answer is 5 degrees on the father side and 3 degrees on the mother side. Explanation. Section 3 defines Sapinda relationship as extending to 5 degrees through father and 3 degrees through mother. Which of the following is not a condition for a valid Hindu marriage under Section 5 of Hindu Marriage Act? Answer is C. Parties must register the marriage. Explanation is registration under Section 8 is not a essential condition for a Hindu marriage to be valid. It is merely for the purpose of evidence. So neither party has a spouse living is the option A. So that is essential condition. Parties are not within the degrees of prohibited relationship is the option B. That is also essential condition. Bridegroom has completed 21 years and the bride 18 years is also an essential condition of the Hindu Marriage Act. Next question. The provision of permanent alimony and maintenance is laid down under which section of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955? Answer is B. Section 25. Section 25 deals with permanent alimony and maintenance. Next question from the Muslim law. In Muslim law, the marriage with a woman who is undergoing her iddat period is considered as. Answer is B. Irregular or fasid marriage. Marriage during the iddat period is an example of an irregular marriage under the Sunni law. An irregular marriage is not void ab initio but may be regularized by removing the impediment, that is expiry of iddat. Next question. What is the term for a contract of marriage which may be dissolved by the wife under a power delegated to her in Muslim law? Answer is talaki-taweez. Talaki-taweez is a form of delegated divorce where the husband delegates the power of talaq to the wife. Khula is a divorce at the instant of the wife for consideration. Mubarat is a divorce by mutual consent. Next question. The term dower or meher under Muslim law is best described as. Answer is C. A sum of money or property that the wife is entitled to receive from the husband in consideration of the marriage. So meher is the pecuniary obligation imposed upon the husband as an essential incident of the marriage contract, often referred to as a consideration for the marriage. Next question. The minimum age for a Muslim boy and girl to contract a valid marriage provided they have attained puberty is governed by Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006. Explanation is while Muslim personal law historically recognized puberty, that is around age 15 at the age of marriage, the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006 is the secular statute that penalizes the marriage below the prescribed age, that is 18 for the girl and 21 for the boy, overriding personal law on this matter. Next question. In the context of Muslim law, what is the legal position of an illegitimate child? Answer is B. they are solely entitled to inherit from the mother and her relations. Under Muslim law, an illegitimate child is considered a child of the mother alone, entitled to inherit from the mother and her relations, but not from the father. Next question from the Hindu Succession and Adoption. The Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005 primarily granted the daughter of a co-partner. Answer is B. Equal status as a co-partner by birth, the same as a son. Explanation. The 2005 amendment to Section 6 of the Hindu Succession Act 1956 made a daughter a co-partner in her own right by birth in the Mitakshara co-partnery property. Next question. Under the Hindu Adoptions and Maintenance Act 1956, a male Hindu who has a Hindu wife living must obtain her consent for adoption unless the wife, answer is B, has completely and finally renounced the world. Section 7 of the Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act requires the wife's consent unless she is of unsound mind, has renounced the world, or has ceased to be a Hindu. Next question. The property of a female Hindu dying intestate shall devolve in the first instance upon the, answer is B, sons and daughters, including the children of any predeceased son or daughter and the husband. So, Section 15(1)(a) of the Hindu Succession Act 1956 prioritizes children and the husband in the matter of succession to the property of a female Hindu dying intestate. Coming to next question. What is the maximum age of a person who can be taken in adoption under HAMA 1956? Answer is C, 15 years unless custom permits. Section 10(4) of HAMA states the person to be adopted must not have completed the age of 15 years unless there is a custom or usage permitting it. The secular provision for maintenance of wives, children, and parents is contained in which section of the Code of Criminal Procedure? Answer is B, Section 125. Section 125 CRPC is a secular provision that enables a wife, minor children, or old parents to claim maintenance regardless of their personal law. The landmark Supreme Court case of Muhammad Ahmad Khan versus Shabanu Begum is primarily related to, option B is the answer, maintenance of divorced Muslim women under Section 125 CRPC. The Shabanu Begum case affirmed the right of a divorced Muslim woman to claim maintenance under the secular provisions of Section 125 CRPC, which led to the enactment of the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Divorce Act 1986. Next question. Under the Guardians and Wards Act 1890, the paramount consideration for the court in appointing a guardian is the, answer C, welfare of the minor. A Hindu couple wishes to solemnize a marriage where they do not want to change their religion, but the procedural requirements of HMA are difficult. Which act can they choose? Answer is C, the Special Marriage Act 1954. The Special Marriage Act 1954 is a secular, non-sacramental law that allows any two persons, including Hindus, to register their marriage. Next question. Under the Special Marriage Act 1954, an objection to the intended marriage must be filed within a notice period of, answer is B, 30 days. Section 7 of the SMA allows any person to object to the marriage within 30 days from the date on which the notice of marriage was published. Next question. Under Mithakshara law, the concept of PS obligation primarily refers to the obligation of the answer is B. Son, grandson, and great grandson to pay the father's non-immoral debts. PS obligation is the duty of the 3 generations of male descendants to pay their ancestors' antecedent debts, provided they are not illegal or immoral. Next question. The concept of limited estate of a female Hindu was abolished by which legislative reform? Answer is B. The Hindu Succession Act 1956, Section 14. Under Section 14 of the Hindu Succession Act 1956 converted the limited ownership of a Hindu female over any property possessed by her into full ownership. Next question. Which of the following is not a mode of dissolution of marriage under Muslim law? Answer is D. Niyoga. Niyoga is a historical practice associated with the ancient Hindu law, not a mode of dissolution of marriage under Muslim law. The ground of renunciation of the world, that is becoming a sannyasi for divorce under Hindu Marriage Act 1955 is covered under option C. Section 13(1)(6) provides for divorce if the other party has renounced the world by entering any religious order. Next question. In Muslim law, a marriage contracted by a minor who has attained puberty on his or her own is, answer is C, valid, but can be repudiated upon attaining majority, that is option of puberty. Such a marriage is generally valid, but the minor has the option of puberty to repudiate the marriage upon attaining majority, provided the marriage has not been consummated. Next question. The legal guardian of the person of a minor Hindu child is ordinarily the, answer is option D, father, and after him the mother. Section 6 of the Hindu Minority and Guardianship Act 1956 declares the father as the natural guardian of a Hindu minor boy and an unmarried girl, and after him the mother. Next question. The concept of hiba bil iwaj under Muslim law refers to, option C is the right answer, a gift for consideration like a sale. Hiba bil iwaj is a gift made in return for a consideration. In essence, it is treated as a sale under Muslim law, transferring property immediately. Which section of the HMA 1955 deals with judicial separation? Answer is B. Section 10 of HMA lays down the provisions and grounds for judicial separation. Thank you. Please subscribe